Hey, today we're going to be starting a new series on the channel, running through some labs on HackTheBox. At first, this is going to be meant for beginners and will consist of walkthroughs for the starting point track. This is a brand new account, and yeah, I'll be starting from scratch. HackTheBox is basically an online platform allowing you to learn and ethically practice penetration testing. It also has a very active community where you're able to engage with others and share ideas. And most importantly, it helps you evolve your methodology to go after various types of targets. I personally would not have received my OCP without running through all the different types of labs and machines that this platform has available to everyone. If you have the extra funds, I would highly recommend upgrading to VIP. This allows you to engage in other tracks as well as previous machines on the platform. Really, the only requirement to begin this is that you're able to use Linux semi-comfortably. If you're not at that point, you can either run through the Academy modules, or I would recommend Over the Wire, if I can spell. Their Bandit series is geared towards beginners and learning those essential command line skill sets. And with that, let's get started. So we're gonna begin with the Meow Box. Our first objective is to connect into the target's network. You can either do this through an OpenVPN connection, which is basically utilizing your box to connect into the target network, or you can spawn a VNC web-based parrot instance. I personally like the OpenVPN. This allows me to use and have all of my tools on my virtual machine versus spawning a web-based instance where I'll have to reset it up every time. And with that, since I already have it downloaded, we're gonna start up the tunnel. Now, when first connecting into HackTheBox, you're going to want to wait until you see that this connect to HTTP is green. Generally, I refresh the page and you're able to move on. So with this, we'll open up another terminal screen, and I'll make that a bit larger for you guys. And then we'll spawn a machine. This is basically creating an instance of the target for you to engage with. Okay, now that the target is up, generally I like to ping it in order to see if I can reach the network. And we can see that we have 0% packet loss. Here's a bonus question. Let me know in the comments what you can find out based off of the TTL when enumerating. We can save that one for later. So we can reach the target, and now we can move on. What does the acronym VM stand for? I've said it a couple times. I'm running everything off of VMware. So this is virtual machine. What tool do we use to interact with the operating system in order to issue commands, blah, 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 etc., known as counselor shell? This is called the terminal. What service do we use to form our VPN connection into HackTheBox Labs? That would be OpenVPN. What is the abbreviated name for a tunnel interface and the output of your VPN boot up sequence? Now, your interfaces, generally you have your local and then you have your ETH1, etc. These can be found using various ipconfig, ifconfig, IPA commands. Here we can see that the tunnel interface is ton0. This is our OpenVPN connection. So this one would be ton. What tool do we use to test our connection to target with an ICMP echo request? As you saw earlier, that was ping. There, I can show you guys again. What is the name of the most common tool for finding open ports on a target? If you ran through the Academy modules, you can see that it's Nmap. And here we can run a quick scan of the target network. What was the IP? What service do we identify on port 23 during our scans? So 23, that just popped up right away. We can see under service that it's Telnet. What username is able to log into the target over Telnet with a blank password? All right, so let's first talk about Telnet. Telnet is an old service that was used to, or is still currently being used for remote management of hosts on a network. Generally, this is configured with a username and password combination for quote unquote increased security. In this case, when we try and telnet into this box, we can see that we will be met with some sort of banner and a request from the target to authenticate ourselves before being allowed to proceed with this remote management. Here, we will need to guess with a blank password according to the task certain usernames that will be allowed to authenticate to the box. Now, sometimes due to configuration mistakes, some important accounts can be left with like blank passwords. For the sake of demonstration, we can generally guess there's an admin account with a blank password. There could be an administrator account with a blank password. But if you went back and saw that this was a Linux box, or going off of that TTL, generally Linux boxes have a root user. And here we can see that that was the correct entry. So now that we have logged in to the target system, we can quickly submit this answer. Now it's saying to submit the root flag. Here we can just run ls, see that the flag is there. And that should be it. All right, so this was the first box we pwned in this series for the starting point challenges. Up next, we'll tackle Fawn and then continue going from there. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or concerns, or if you have trouble with anything, and I'll try and help you out. Thanks, guys. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.